question I get asked most often is, when is the next Star Wars coming out?
Get to your station!
It's out. It's in that theater.
Hey friends, I'm Jimmy Gaddis. Welcome to NostalgAK. It's one of my clearest, and I mean crystal clear, childhood memories.
The cosmos, a universe of good and evil.
This asteroid, set behind that swirling galaxy, floating an inch away from my face. The opening shot of Captain EO was surreal. It was my first 3D experience, and I'm sure the same goes for many of you. And while I knew Captain EO was, kind of a big deal, I apparently didn't realize how big until just a few days ago. In this video, which we're putting out this week in honor of what would have been Michael Jackson's 65th birthday, we're going to look back at the massive televised grand opening celebration at Disneyland and the one thing it was missing, the one very big thing it was without. So much so it made Anjelica Huston, well, pretty sad, as you'll hear. That said, time warp. Take us back to September 12th of 1986.
Battle alert!
Don't panic. That's what got us into trouble the last time.
Orlando, Florida. Captain EO first opens at the Imagination Pavilion in Epcot, which is where I first got to experience it. First, here's a quick refresher. You can jump ahead to this time right here if you don't want to wait, and go right to the celebration. Captain EO, written by none other than George Lucas, directed by none other than Francis Ford Coppola, starring Michael Jackson as Captain EO and Anjelica Huston as the Wicked Supreme Leader. Here are the quick cliff notes. Captain EO's ragtag crew, including the adorable Fuzzball, are on a mission to bring freedom to the countless worlds of despair.
The command considers us a bunch of losers. But we're gonna do it right this time because we're the best.
By delivering the gift of music and love, which can unlock the beauty hidden within the darkness.
Why have you come? To bring a gift, Your Highness. To someone as beautiful as you.
You think me beautiful?
Very beautiful within, Your Highness, but without a key to unlock it. And that is my gift to you.
While attempting to deliver this gift to the evil supreme leader of an unnamed planet, the crew is captured. A battle ensues. Captain EO eventually breaks free and uses his magical musical fingertips and vocal cords to transform the supreme leader, her people, and the planet. All is well once again. The movie is said to have cost $30 million to make, which amounts to $1.76 million per minute, making it, at the time, the most expensive film ever made. Some of that $30 million went toward synchronized in-theater effects. Remember those lasers, the smoke, and the star field which surrounded you in the theater while you watched? It wasn't just a movie. It wasn't just a 3D movie. It was an epic experience. And these extras gave Captain EO the distinction of being one of, if not the first, 4D film. 6 days after it opened at Epcot, it premiered at Disneyland, inside the Magic Eye Theater in Tomorrowland, but not before a grand parade of special guests. Hosted by Patrick Duffy and Justine Bateman, Disney's Captain EO grand opening celebration aired to a nationwide audience, and I apparently was not by a TV that day. This is all new to me.
When you tell people they're going to see the world premiere of a 3D film produced by the guy who did Star Wars, directed by the guy who did The Godfather, and starring the guy who made the largest selling album in history, you know they're not going to just stay home and watch reruns of Gilligan's Island.
The event boasted a seemingly never-ending stream of celebrities.
Lights up the screen on silver spoons, Alfonso Ribeiro.
From Ruthless People and Beverly Hills Cop, Judge Reinhold.
A loving and generous couple in real life, John and Nancy Ritter.
There was Elliot Gould, Charles Bronson, Valerie Harper, Nell Carter, Dolph Lundgren, Whoopi Goldberg, Alan Thicke, the Pet Shop Boys, Deborah Winger, Tommy Chong, novelist Jackie Collins, Sissy Spacek, John Stamos. Okay, I need a breather. Patrick and Justine, could you just take over for a few seconds?
Superman's favorite lady, Margot Kidder. It looks like Bull from Night Court. Joining the party is Punky Brewster's alter ego, Soleil Moon Frye.
Athletes were on hand too. You had Olympic skating champ Dorothy Hamill, O.J. Simpson, and the then Bruce Jenner.
How can you go wrong with Michael Jackson and Disney, huh? You just can't go wrong with that, can you?
There were about 100 celebrities in total. Those in attendance would also get an up-close look at some of the captain's crew.
Hooter, the Geeks, and Major Domo.
The musical stage was a who's who too. Robert Palmer, Belinda Carlisle, the Moody Blues, and Starship all performed. People watching at home were also treated to some behind-the-scenes footage.
Then the rehearsal is over, and now it's for real.
It all culminated with a ribbon cutting before the VIPs would take their seats.
For all those who still believe in the magic world of fantasy and imagination.
For all of those who are still moved by the wonders of music and dance.
For all those who share Walt Disney's dream and delight in the promise of the future, we cut this ribbon signifying the opening of the 3D musical motion picture space adventure, Captain EO.
Okay, so at this point in the show, you're probably wondering, is this when Michael Jackson shows up? Is he gonna do something wild and pop up somewhere crazy like he did at the Super Bowl? Maybe he'll be on stage and he'll be the one to open Captain EO for the first time in front of all of these special guests. What a memorable moment, right? Right? Well, it turns out Michael Jackson was a complete no-show. Yeah, he was the one important thing that was missing from this extravaganza. Extremely, extremely disappointing. So you might recall Jackson was in the middle of a self-imposed year-long break from being in the spotlight. But not really doing a great job of it though, as that very same week, those famous photos of Jackson sleeping in a hyperbaric chamber surfaced. Now some have speculated this was Jackson's roundabout way of promoting Captain EO from afar. As People magazine wrote, when Disneyland debuted his 3D movie marvel, Michael Jackson was in another dimension. Angelica Houston would later say, Michael never showed. I think LaToya was there. It was sort of eye-watering to go down Main Street of Disneyland in a horse and carriage. A little embarrassing. It was lonely not to be there with Michael. I don't know where he was or why he didn't show up that day. When asked about it, Disney CEO Michael Eisner did his best to keep things a mystery, saying, Michael Jackson is here, but he's disguised either as an old lady, an usher, or an animatronic character. Jackson, before he went into hiding, was known to frequent the parks and oftentimes visiting in disguise. So maybe knowing that, Eisner thought he could pull a fast one on us. Disneyland stayed open for 60 consecutive hours following the premiere to help keep up with fan demand and took in $2 million that weekend. Captain EO would close in 1998 before reopening from 2010 to 2015 as the Captain EO tribute, which followed Michael Jackson's death. Do you remember this celebration special? Did you watch it when you were a kid? And what is your fondest memory of Captain EO? I truly want to know. This film has a very special place in my nostalgic heart. I'll be reading all of the comments and responding while I patiently await my 1986 Fuzzball stuffed animal. It's in the mail. It's headed on up to Alaska. I was doing the research. I came across it and I couldn't say no. Pretty good deal. It's like $30. So there are a bunch of them on there. Go take a look. If you enjoyed this blast to the past, this intergalactic blast to the past, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content that's gonna make you feel nostalgic for the 80s and the 90s. I'm Jimmy Gaddis. I'll see you next time.